Ready?
Yep.
Okay. Text 8. Na tu nam shahasi trastum ani nava sa ka sua diyam da dani te kakshu pasha me yogam ashpanvaram. But you cannot see me with your present eyes. Therefore, I give to you divine eyes by which you can behold my mystic opulence. A pure devotee does not like to see Krishna in any form except his form with two hands. A devotee must see his universal form by his grace, not with the mind, but the spiritual eyes. To see the universal form of Krishna, Arjuna is told not to change his mind but his vision. The universal form of Krishna is not very important. That will be clear in the verses. Yet, because Arjuna wanted to see it, the Lord gives him the particular vision required to see that universal form. Devotees who are correctly situated in a transcendental relationship with Krishna are attracted by loving features, not by the godless display of opulences. The playmates of Krishna, the friends of Krishna, and the parents of Krishna never want Krishna to show his opulences. They are so immersed in pure love that they do not even know that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In their loving exchange, they forget that Krishna is the Supreme Lord. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is stated that the boys who play with Krishna are all highly pious souls, and after many, many births, they are able to play with Krishna. Such boys do not know that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They take him as a personal friend. The Supreme Person is considered as an impersonal Brahman by great sages, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead by the devotees, and as a product of the material nature of the ordinary man. The fact that the devotee is not concerned to see the Vishya Rupa, the universal form, but Arjuna wanted to see it to substantiate Krishna's statement so that the future people could understand that Krishna not only theoretically or philosophically presented himself as the supreme, but actually presented himself to as such to Arjuna. Arjuna must confirm this because Arjuna is the beginning of the Parampara system. Those who are actually interested to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, and who follow in the footsteps of Arjuna should understand that Krishna not only theoretically presented himself as the Supreme, but actually revealed himself as the Supreme. The Lord gave Arjuna the necessary power to see his universal form because he knew that Arjuna did not particularly want to see it as we have already explained. Text 9. Sajavya yuvaka ivam yuta tato rajam maha yogasparo hari darsam asapartaya paratama rupan ashparam. Sanjana said, O king, speaking thus, the Supreme, the Lord of all mystic power, the personality of Godhead, displayed his universal form to Arjuna. Text 10-11. What happened to text 9? Oh.
My book doesn't have a translation either. It's just probably the moderator just it's like a play, like when
Oh,
the guy comes out.
okay. Text 10-11. Anika Batra Nayaam Ani tu Bhutas Darsharam Aika Diva Baram Diva Ko Diate Yudam Diva Mal Yambara Daram Diva Kanhan Ipanam Sar Bhaskara Manya Divan Atam Vishatu Mukam. Arjuna saw in the universal form unlimited mouths and unlimited eyes. It was all wondrous. The form was decorated with divine, dazzling ornaments and arrayed in many garbs. He was garlanded gloriously, and there were many scents smeared over his body. All was magnificent, all was expanding, unlimited. This was seen by Arjuna. These two verses indicate that there is no limit to the hands, mouth, legs, etc. of the Lord. These manifestations are distributed throughout the universe and are unlimited by the grace of the Lord. Arjuna could see them while sitting in one place. That is due to the inconceivable potency of Krishna. Text 12. Divi Struya Sara Rasha Bihav Yu Apad Yu Hita Yadi Ba Sarv Shri Sasad Bahasa Tasa Mahamanha. In the hundreds of thousands of suns rose up at the once in the sky. They might resemble the effulgence of the Supreme Person in the universal form. What Arjuna saw was indescribable, yet Sanjaya is trying to give a mental picture of the great revelation of Dhartarashtra. Neither Sanjava or Dhartarashtra were present, but Sanjava, by the grace of Vishya, could see whatever happened. Thus, he now compares the situation as far as it can be understood to the imaginable phenomena, that is, thousands of suns. Text 13. Chararika samjavat krishtam bhavatam akadha ashpasha divasha shrer pandavstada. At the time Arjuna could see in the universal form of the Lord the unlimited expansion of the universe situated in one place, although divided into many, many thousands. The word tatra there is very significant. It indicates that both Arjuna and Krishna were sitting on the chariot when Arjuna saw the universal form. Others on the battlefields could not see this form because Krishna gave the vision only to Arjuna. Arjuna could see in the body of Krishna many thousands of universes, as we learn from the Vedic scriptures. There are many universes and many planets. Some of them are made of earth, some of them are made of gold, some of them are made of jewels, some of them are very great, some of them are not great, etc. Sitting on his chariot, Arjuna could see all the universes, but no one can understand what was going on between Arjuna and Krishna. Text 14. Tata sa Vishma ya Vistu Rishtra Roma Damna Java Pramnamya Ishirasha Divan Kirtanja Lir Abashata. Then, bewildered and astonished, his hair standing on end, Arjuna began to pray with folded hands, offering obeisances to the Supreme Lord. Once the divine vision is revealed, the relationship between Krishna and Arjuna changes immediately. Before, Krishna and Arjuna had a relationship based on friendship. But here, after the revelation, Arjuna is offering obeisances with great respect, and with the folded hands, he is praying to Krishna. He is praising the universal form. Thus, Krishna's relationship becomes one of wonder rather than friendship. Great devotees see Krishna as the reservoir of all relationships. In the scriptures, there are 12 basic kinds of relationships mentioned, and all of them are present in Krishna. It is said that he is the ocean of all relationships exchanged between two living entities, between the gods, or between the Supreme Lord and his devotees. It is said that Arjuna was inspired by the relationship of wonder, and in that wonder, although he was by nature very sober, quiet, and calm and quiet, he became ecstatic. His hair stood up and he began to offer obeisances unto the Supreme Lord with folded hands. He was not, of course, afraid. He was affected by the wonders of the Supreme Lord. The immediate context is wonder. His natural loving friendship was overwhelmed by wonder, and thus he reacted in this way. Text 15 Arjuna Yuvaka Sajami Tasvan Tava Diva De He Savans Tata Bhuta Vishesa Shankham Barmaham Isham Kamasana Satam Rishams Ka Savan Yu Gargams Ka Divan. Arjuna said, my dear Lord Krishna, I see assembled together in your body all the demigods and various other entities. I see Brahman sitting on the lotus flower, as well as Lord Shiva and many sages and divine serpents. Arjuna sees everything in the universe. Therefore, he sees Brahman, who is the first creature in the universe, and the celestial serpent upon which the Garbhudashavi Vishnu lies in the lower regions of the universe. This snake bed is called Vasuki. There are also other snakes known as Vashuki. Arjuna can see from the Garbhodasasi Vishnu up to the topmost part of the universe on the lowest lotus flower planet where Brahram, the first creature of the universe, resides. That means that the beginning to the end, everything could be seen by Arjuna sitting in one place on his chariot. This was possible by the grace of the Supreme Lord Krishna. Text 16. And Kenka Bahudara Batram Nitram Pasami Tavan Savato Nantam Rupam Nantam Na Madhyam Na Pushna Tavadim Pashami Vishesura Visharupa. O Lord of the universe, I see your universe body, many form bellies, mouths, eyes expanded without limit. There is no end, there is no beginning, and there is no middle to all of this. Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead and is unlimited. Thus, through him, everything could be seen. Text 17. Krititanam Gadinam Katriyam Ka Tevo Rashmim Sarato Deepitan Pasyami Tava Yuriktarasam Sanam Ta Diptaralakar Diyutim Arparamayam. Your form, adorned with various crowns, clubs, and discs, is difficult to see because of its glaring effluence, which is fiery and immeasurable like the sun. Text 18 Dam Asaram Param Vet Tiyam Tasa Vishashasha Param Nidhaman Tam Avaya Sasvata Dharma Gupta Sanatasam Vam Pashu Matume. You are the supreme primal objective. You are better. You are the best in all the universes. You are inexhaustible. You are the oldest. You are the maintainer of religion, the external personality of Godhead. Text 19. Nyati mad yatam anatam viryam tanba baham sasi suva netram pashami tavan deepta hutasa vatram sa tesha visham inam tapatam. You are the origin without beginning, middle, or end. You are the numberless arms and the sun and the moon, and are among you are the great unlimited eyes. By your radiance, you are heating this entire universe. There is no limit to the extent of the six opulences of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Here And in many places there is repetition, but according to the scriptures, repetition of the glories of Krishna is not literally weakness. It is said that at a time of bewilderment or wonder or of great ecstasy, statements are repeated over and over. This is not a flaw. I'm going to stop at text 20. Sound good?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think about like what I learned yesterday because now I have like a different opening to the Gita, like a different understanding that I've heard all before, but sometimes it sticks, after you've heard it for the 14th time. But I still think so now it's like Arjuna still didn't, I don't want to say believe, but that's the only word I can think of right now, of Krishna until he like did this transformation and saw him. Is this what's happening?
I thought he only wanted to see him to prove to other people so that he can
Other
prove to
people.
other people, but he already believed.
Okay, that makes more sense. But only Arjuna saw it, no one else.
Yeah.
Like I know he already believes because that's what I was having a hard time because what I was learning yesterday is he already did, but now he wanted Krishna to transform just to prove to other people, but no other people saw except.
So that he can say that Krishna was revealed himself.
Oh, I see. But then it said that did they?
Yesterday they were talking about how the reason that he needed to do that was so that in the future anybody claiming that they're God would have to be able to reveal the same thing. So because they're going to be charlatans who are going to come and.
Okay, yeah, I forgot. I missed.
I forgot that too.
Yeah, I forgot I missed all those slokas yesterday.
What was interesting though about today is like he's saying everyone sort of naturally saw him through the lens of themselves. Like the Brahmins saw him as an impersonal Brahmin. The kids saw him as like a play friend. It's like how everybody exists all the time. Like you could have God standing right in front of you and you wouldn't even see it because all we do is project our own experience onto everyone else.
Yeah, that freaks me out. It's like, well, then how do you see different perspectives if you, I don't know.
And most people can't. But Ram Dass says like part of our spiritual practice should be seeing everybody as God is in drag. And if this book is accurate, it's saying that Krishna does exist in the heart of all beings. So maybe there is some kind of intention here of trying to get us to change our vision of people.
Yeah. I saw something yesterday on Instagram as I was mindlessly scrolling through to give myself a brain break. This woman who I follow, whose name I'm forgetting, she was talking about like how there's been studies recently, or I don't know if it was recently. Somebody in England, I have to look it up, said that they now can like the energies you pass from person to person. There were studies about that. So she's like, it's true. Like we're not making this up. There's energies that pass from people to people. And like she's gonna go into a series about how not to take on bad energy.
Was it the telesomes?
No.
I've been like obsessively reading everything about mRNA stuff, and there's this whole theory right now that like right at the beginning when you get it, that there's some kind of like spreading happening to other people and it's affecting other people. And it's not like a regular virus, right? So this whole idea that the virus can be spread is debunked. Like you can't spread coronavirus when you get the vaccine. It's a silly assertion because it's not in the vaccine. But the body's creating this spike protein. So they're like, maybe they're spreading the spike protein. But now there's this new theory that it's actually like so fascinating that all the time we're like our nucleic acid is communicating with other people's nucleic acid through these telesomes. And this was like pre-mRNA. They found this stuff out that like our it's like our genes are always communicating with each other. I thought it was so beautiful because like it is, yeah, energy. That's what the yogis teach. Prana is like expanding outside of ourselves. Our energetic fields are always communicating with the other people's energetic fields. And like even the illusion that there's any separateness, is proven by quantum physics. Like you have this boson field where like one cell will affect a cell millions of miles away because everything actually is connected. So that kind of blows my mind.
Well, and then it all ties back to Krishna because Krishna is a spiritual energy, right? And
Yeah, and he's pervasive in everything. So it just makes sense. I
yeah,
mean,
it
if you look at it
does tie
from,
in.
right, the more personified view makes it make less sense to me. But when I do my like jnana thing, and he's like if he's a spiritual energy that pervades everything, it works out with the mathematical equations.
Yeah, it does. It is mind blowing.
As per stopping other people's energies, that's next level cities, like psychic
Yeah.
powers, like the ability to manipulate matter like that is just so cool. That's something I haven't figured out how to do yet. And that's kind of the problem with meditating. Like you start to become so permeable, and so malleable, and so like open that all the energies get in.
Right. Yeah. Like, but you still have but you still have to like to
You
live in
have
today's
to.
world, kind of have your guard up a bit.
Yes, you have to. Or you can't be healthy.
Right.
Yeah, I was trying to watch that movie last night without taking notes. I'm like, can you just like sit back and relax for a minute and not like overanalyze everything, including like a superhero movie?
I purposely try not to take notes during this morning meditation. Because of that. I'm like, no, it's your time to relax.
But the lead character, Brie Larson's character, like there was two times where I was like, I need my notebook. I didn't take notes, but so I'm not going to paraphrase it correctly. But they're trying to manipulate, they're trying to tap into her brain to get her memories, and like it's like this idea of like the some scars and her impressions, and they're trying to dig so deep because she can't remember anything, and so she's seeing her memories and she's not she can't like piece it together, and then toward the end they're trying to take her powers away from her, and she's just all tied up in these energy wires, like you see all this like crazy movie stuff around her, and she's just sitting there quietly, and she almost looks like she's in a meditation, and she's just trying to go so deep, and she finally gets it. She figures it out and she remembers, and it's just I was like, look, that's the power of meditation. You're just like, sitting still, and like she remember, like, so they gave her these powers, but then she realizes like the powers are tying one hand behind her back, and that really it's like she is the one who's strong, so like she takes the powers away and just uses her own power, her own energy. And it's all energy in these movies, like the powers that she has.
Sounds just like yogic philosophy, huh, Pam?
but like they're just giving it to us in a different way that people can understand, because if you tell people to go sit and meditate, they're not going to do it. I
Right.
mean, and maybe I'm just looking at it through a different lens now, but
No, they're all influenced by the Vedas.
yeah.
All the Marvel. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Like,
I know. It's just funny watching them now. And then there was another part in the movie that she said something. There was a conversation happening, and it said something along the lines of like, if you want to serve others, first you have to master yourself. And I thought that was so beautiful. Just like, I think about all, like, not just people that like go volunteer, but people that truly live a life of service, like our medical people, our military, our police officers, and how it becomes like a role of, or government leaders, or anyone's work career that's in, like, almost like an Arjuna as a warrior, like anyone that's in a true service um or not environment, but like role, how so often it becomes this ego, like leader, I'm in charge, versus like how, like the cousin, I can't think of what his name is, Strastra, Astra, um versus like people that are in these roles to really serve others. They're more in it for like the ego part of it, like, and I think that's why there's so much abuse and power, and or bad power, because these people are not mastering themselves first.
absolutely. Yeah, any action that you take is going to be polluted by any pollution in the mind. It's like that's where the action originates. So we have this whole culture of people who are not mastering themselves and going out in the world and doing so much damage, just completely unaware.
Yeah, and they're getting trained to do things by other people that have been trained, like it's like the power and par system of bad leaders,
Yeah.
where it's like they're just it keeps getting passed down, and no one's coming in and saying, wait, this isn't being done the right way. Like, we need more of those people in everywhere, that it's like, this something doesn't look right here, let's pause and redo it.
That was the whole thing behind America, you know. There were all these very thoughtful, philosophical leaders who were striving to create something better, you know, and they did a lot of self work and they were like very level headed people. And look at how far away the country has gotten from those original ideas, man.
Well,
It's
even like for
hard.
me, like when my eyes finally woke up last year to all the human rights issues and political nonsense, I couldn't get myself to go do a um a protest, or I couldn't just get myself to go do. And usually that's my first instinct, is just like, what do I do? But I had to pause, because
Mm,
first I have to educate myself in all of this. So I had
mhm,
to start reading the newspaper, and I had to dive deeper into like the reading books and asking questions. And it wasn't, so that was my due. Like, first I have to understand myself and where I stand in all of this. It's not that I'm against any protesting or against going and doing, but if I know, if I would have ran out the door to the first thing somebody said to go to, it wouldn't have felt true to me. And like, I wanted to know really what I was standing up for and what I was doing.
mhm,
And I don't think enough people do that. They just want like the selfie that, oh, look, here I am with my sign. I
mhm.
did it one time. And that's just one example. I think anytime we have to like get into things, we really have to like educate ourselves. And even with this Gita, I'm like, wow, we've been doing, I tell students all the time, like, oh, we meet every morning. We've been doing it for over a year now. And it's almost like I'm bragging, because I'm like so proud of myself, but
Mhm.
it's only been a year. And we still like, it's like when I'm planking, I'm like, I got my whole life ahead of me. I have to keep doing this. It's like, I'm like, I can't believe I'm doing this long, but it's like a small amount of time.
That's very funny. I saw a very funny TikTok about that. I had like tears streaming out of my eyes. It was this woman, and like the byline is like woman who has been meditating for a week, and she's going on, and she's like, "You have to meditate. You don't meditate. You have to meditate. It's the best thing ever. How do you even live without it?" Um, it was very. There are apps that you could listen to. Like it was just so funny, because you get that, like everyone gets sort of zealotry in the beginning of any undertaking,
Yeah.
because it's almost like we're trying to convince ourselves on a new path, and with that, whatever we do to ourselves leaks out to everybody else, so they try to convince everybody else around us that like this is the way. And it's really the more mature spiritual aspirants, like what you're saying now, you're like, oh, it's only been a year actually, like it's those teachers who are like, everybody has their own path and their own exit. Like it takes a long time to get there.
Everyone has to get there on their own path, but like even now I'm like, oh, do I really need to meditate anymore? I feel like I've mastered meditation. I'm in my mind every day, every morning when we've been doing this, I'm like, maybe we should cut it down to like 10 or 12 minutes. Like we are all so good at it now. But I'm like, no, I love the meme where it's like if you don't have time for 20 minutes every day, you should be doing an hour every day.
Yeah.
So it's like, no, I shouldn't be cutting time back. Like it's clearly, and what am I gonna fill that other 10 or 8 minutes with? Instagram, TikTok? No thanks.
Right.
Like I'd rather sit in silence for another. I should be adding time on, not taking it away. But I can see how my brain manipulates me with things.
Mhm.
It's like, oh, I've been doing it for this good. I'm good now. And then I give up. And it shows up in other areas of your life. Like people that were so like you have a catalyst in the news. You have everyone supporting it for that 24 hours and then they disappear. And it's like that's not helpful. It's actually hurtful because we need people to support it. Find your cause and support it all the time.
Yeah. It's
So
that shallow holes analogy. If you keep digging shallow holes, you're never going to get to the bottom of it.
yeah, exactly. That's perfect. All right.
And you better watch out, man. Every time I felt that way, the universe handed me a slap in the face, a brick in the face. Like, oh, you think you're good now?
Yeah.
So I don't even let myself get there.
Yeah. The universe keeps teaching us our lessons. All right, let's do some breath and meditate. So we're going over already. Now sitting up nice and tall. Taking a few breaths in through the nose, out through the nose. Bring your right hand over to the nostril. Close the right nostril with the thumb. Inhale through the left. Close left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Close right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Close left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Close right. Exhale left. A few more rounds on your own breath. So take your time to finish up, exhaling out through the left side. I'm going to set the timer and you'll join us when you're ready. Bringing hands to heart center. Namaste. Have a good day, everybody.
Namaste. Have a good day, Priyam.
Thank you. You too.
Bye.